Hi, hello. In this second video, I'm going to talk a little bit about the research, but also why, I guess mainly in this video, why I'm carrying it out, why it's important. Um, and I think that if you are somebody considering getting involved or passing on my details, it's really useful for you to know the why. So why is this a really important area to study? So I first became, I guess, kind of interested in the area of thinking specifically about people who were a bit older, so 65 and over, who were sexually abused as children. Because when I work within sexual violence services, I did notice that um, there seemed to be not as many kind of older adults coming forward. And then I certainly found in private practice that there are older adults who do want to talk about their experiences. So I guess that was when I first kind of thought, oh, maybe there is a bit of a gap here in terms of that kind of service provision, or people feeling comfortable accessing the more traditional sexual violence services, which sometimes come under the rape crisis umbrella. So if you experience sexual abuse as a child, it might be that one of the you might use one of those services, and that's great. Or it might be that you haven't, or you didn't even realise that abuse that happened in childhood, if that was your experience, you can still access those services. So that was the first thing that got me, I guess, kind of really thinking about the topic. And then, well, actually, I say the first thing, but even earlier than that. So before I trained as a counsellor and psychotherapist, I was an occupational therapist, and I worked in the NHS. And I spent quite a while working with older adults, and I ended up working in older adults mental health services, and I always it kind of puzzled me that the kind of history, the life histories of the people that we supported weren't always at the forefront of our minds. So as I kind of progressed in my career in the NHS, I became really interested in the importance of life history and understanding somebody's kind of life history and experiences, and what was happening, what was going on in the world and in the UK when that person was a child, was a teenager, and then kind of a young adult, and all those kind of different things that were going on throughout their lives, and how those things around us can really influence us. So I guess that's kind of where the initial interest came from. But then when I came to look in the academic literature and to explore what was there already, I mean, there is some research in the area, but what I found is that the focus tends to be on adults who are younger than 65. So it really kind of seemed that there was a gap, and that creating more research in this area would help to build the kind of the knowledge, the information, and the kind of evidence of the experiences that older adults who were sexually abused in childhood have. So the research is interested in life experiences throughout somebody's lifespan. So it doesn't, focus specifically on the abuse and what happened and how it happened. It's more about the person's life, and then how or if that abuse has felt to kind of have an influence on how that life has been shaped, or certain experiences. So that's where I guess the interest and that kind of passion has come from. And in addition, there's something then about, well, what's the point in doing this research? So I think I really believe that particularly this kind of research, we need to do something with it. So I'm really interested in sharing experiences, so to support people to have a voice through research that can be shared with services, so such as sexual violence services, to support those services, make sure that they are open and thinking about the needs of older adults and older people services. There are a range of different types of services that serve older adults. So making sure, I guess, as well, that they're equipped and think about, have this on the radar. And yeah, thinking about older adults' experiences, and if somebody did experience sexual abuse when they were younger, then how might they be supported? How might that person be supported? And how can we be open to people wanting to tell us or disclose sexual abuse? So I guess that's a little bit about the where the interest came from and the purpose, really. And then in the next video, I'm going to tell you about what the research looks like. Okay, thank you.